Hey guys, this is my second Craftwars video, so I just want to share my Azure REST Torment Mode strategy that I have come up with. I'll share my gear and everything you need to know, and I'll demonstrate it as well. Oh my god, will you guys stop? Okay, so Staff of Life doesn't really matter, but the three weapons that I'm going to use is Ocean's Authority, which is optional, it just speeds things up. Equinox Cannon, which is the required weapon. Equinox Cannon carries the entire thing, and Fang of Gilgamesh, which also really helps. My passive items are Sea's Revenge, which is required and easy to get. You can get it on the Storm Surge biome. It's a drop from Ocean Decorator. And finally, Starfarer's Experience. 1 in 5 chance to dodge moves just ensures that you don't die. So, and I also have the Typhoon equipped because the Typhoon absorbs 25% of incoming damage, and I'm also wearing Ocean Goddess armor and Crown of the Sea because it has a stat buff that absorbs a lot of damage, so it's really nice to use. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna use, and I'll run through the event and explain as I go. And no cheesing, okay? Everything here is legit. It's not like a bug. Nothing that happens will be any sort of bug. So let's just get into it. Alright, so we are here in Azure REST. Let me just select Torment Mode and /skip all. I don't need to wait. So there isn't very much strategy for the first 3 waves because they are very easy. Just use your Equinox Cannon to take them out. Don't let them get too close. That's about all you really need to know. So I'll just fast forward these first 3 waves because I'm pretty sure all of you watching, if you have decent gear, you should be able to get through these first 3 waves. I should also mention that it's recommended that you keep Sea's Revenge going the entire game. Sea's Revenge can save you from getting hit from a lot of enemies and can help you. Okay, Wave 4 is when it starts to get a little difficult, so let me get rid of him. Okay, so Wave 4 is when it starts to get a little difficult because of the Ocean Decorators. They will, as you can see here, they will spam bubbles on you, but they will take turns doing it. So pretty much when one stops, a different one starts. So you're almost never free. But as long as you use your Equinox Cannon and keep the enemies a good distance away from you, you should be okay, because it's not too hard to tank the Naga's weapons. So, luckily, Ocean Decorator only comes out 2 rounds. Okay, so the Sea Serpent has just arrived. So this is why I have my Ocean's Authority, actually. Let me move this to the first slot. Okay, so Ocean's Authority is great for Sea Serpents because you can spawn in on them, and because they can't really move, it gets a good 50,000 damage in, and they can't avoid it. So, as you can see here, I'm getting them really quickly. Now that should be all I need. No, one more hit, that is fine. There we go. No more Sea Serpent. Alright, so this is Wave 6. It's pretty much the same as Wave 4, just a little bit worse. But the Ocean Decorators aren't too bad. You can get them after a while. Just remember, use the Equinox Cannon and keep your enemies away from you, and you should be fine. Ocean Decorators are annoying in normal mode and Torment mode, but you know, you can deal with them. They're bearable. Okay, so this round the Sea Serpent is back, but there's also Sirens, so that means that you probably shouldn't go too far out in the map, and you should get the Sirens first this round, definitely. And once you have most, or if not all of the enemies down, that's when you start forcing your damage onto the Sea Serpent and take them out. It's best to use a combo of your Equinox Cannon and Ocean's Authority. Alright, so the Sea Serpent should be dead now. Okay, so for this round, wave 8 specifically, don't, kill the sea serpents first. Usually I'd say get the crowd first, but you want to kill the sea serpents first. Pretty much, something about this round, if you only have 2 serpents left, it will progress the round anyway. So basically what that means is, on top of the 2 serpents remaining, you will also have 3 more serpents come next round, so that's 5 serpents on top of you. So you can still attack the crowds if they get too close, just don't kill all of them first. You want to get the serpents at least weak. You want to get them at least like weakened so that they don't ruin your run. Now, of course, you have the option to let them live, but it's just easier if you do it this way. So I think that one is dead, so I can get this one and kill him too. Okay, one more of these should do it. There he goes. And you can see I got 25 aqua tokens twice. Okay, so now it's just the last wave, but a little bit harder. Get the Sirens first, but this wave won't progress until everything is dead, so you can coordinate your attacks on the Serpents. Now, they will launch you in the air, and that's what your shield is for, to get out of their grips, because they don't have very far range, and they can't really move, but if you're close to them, then that's disaster. So you use Sea's Revenge to get away from them on top of your shield. So let's get these Serpents down, use the trains, and now that pretty much all of the bad enemies are down, no Sirens, we can go on this side of the map and have more of a range to defeat the Serpents. So you can use the whole map, but as long as there aren't any Sirens. If there's Sirens, stay on the sand. If not, use the whole map to your advantage, because the more space allows you to evade sea serpents better, and it's even better if they spawn in the middle so that you have many directions to flee from them. So just repeat this Ocean's Authority and Equinox Cannon strategy. Of course, Ocean's Authority is completely optional. It just does a little better job at getting the sea serpents, but you can easily do it with only your Equinox Cannon. So now Squilla and the Raging Tide should be coming. So for this, the Raging Tide is easy to avoid. Just keep running around and don't let them get too close to you. Now, I recommend that you target Squilla. Matter of fact, let me Fang here to get a little chip on both of them. Now, I'm going to do this because it's not a waste. See, this round, by the time this round is over, I will have already recharged Reality Tear, so that's a free beginning chip right there. Always do that, if you have Fang, of course. So I'd target Squilla first because, see this ranged move that he's doing? If that hits you, then he can combo you, do a bunch of damage if you don't have your shield charged, and it also flings you, which can get you in the grips of the Raging Tide. TLDR, Squilla is a lot more annoying than the Raging Tide, so target Squilla first, and then any chip that would have gone onto the Raging Tide, you can use that to finish him pretty easily, but you definitely want to attack Squilla first. Target him, kill him. He sucks. We hate the Funny Buster, you got it? We do not support Funny Busters here. Stop busting islands. So I just got a sneak peek of his health bar. He's almost down, which is good. And there we go. Okay, so now that he's gone, it should be a lot easier to get the Raging Tide, just because we don't have to deal with Squilla. Now, the annoying part about Chirurgia, or the Raging Tide, I don't call him by his first name because it's hard to pronounce, but he runs around a lot, so you can't really use Ocean's Authority on him too well, so I'll just have to rely on the Equinox Cannon. Now, I could, in theory, Fang again, but there's a chance I might need it next round, and I don't want to waste it just for a little bit of extra time. And one more hit should do it. Okay. Oh, look, I got the legendary. Neat. Okay, so this is the Siren Potentai Fish round, wave 11. So for this wave, just stay to the back. For one, the Potentai fish can sneak up on you, and for another, there's Sirens, so you don't go over there anyway. But let the enemies come to you, because they group up, and by the time they've reached you, your cannon is charged, so you can knock them out when they're all bunched up together. So, hold on, I need to charge this and then reapply. Okay, so this isn't really a very hard wave if you know what you're doing, but it can be the wave that ends you if you just run out there. Oh yeah, by the way, Potentai fish have a reflect ability, where if you don't fully kill them, they'll reflect the damage that you did back on you, and that could ruin your run. So make sure when you're fighting Potentai fish, you fully charge your cannon so that you ensure you one-shot them. So some of the Potentai fish are exploding, but make sure that you're getting them in one strong hit, otherwise you will get a ton of reflection damage that could end your run, especially if you're hitting more than one fish. Uh-oh, this isn't good. Okay, so this is one of those moments where it's best if you use Fang of Gilgamesh to get rid of the crowds. So I should be good now. All I have to worry about is a few Sirens and the sea serpents, which will just pop up and jump scare you, but you shouldn't be overwhelmed by them because they're not too bad. You just have to get away from them. That's the big thing. If you can get away from them, then you will be fine. And of course, keep reapplying C's Revenge. That's also another big thing. So luckily this wave, wow, he launched me high up. But this wave, they don't progress until you've killed all of them. So there's no rush. So just don't make any bad moves. Oh hey, I didn't realize he was alive. So this is a good moment to use the train so that you don't have to waste a charge on him. Just hit him with the train. There you go. Okay, let me attack this serpent now. Okay, for some reason, Ocean's Authority is not letting me click. I don't know why that's not working. That's a little worrying because I'd like to use Ocean's Authority, but it's not letting me do it. I might have to unequip it and re-equip it because I'm also going to be using it for the final boss, Okeania, at the end of the torrent run. So I might want to do that real quick so that it'll still work because it actually really helps. Of course, you probably won't have Ocean's Authority if this is your first run, because it is a drop from the boss, but it's also really useful for the boss. You know what? There's only one serpent left. Let me do this now. There we go. Okay, so that's working again. So I can use that to tactically defeat the sea serpent. Okay, this is wave 13. Okay, so this is a fairly difficult wave because, and it's one of my least favorite waves, if not my least favorite, because of the Aqua Phalanx. I do not know how to pronounce that, don't meme on me. But these geysers, they will kill you before you know it, and that's not an exaggeration. Like, let me give a number here. 0.034 morb seconds on the geyser, and you're on the disconnected screen. I'm not even kidding. So, the way to dodge the geysers, you just keep running. Don't stop. Now, this is bad, because I've been sirened, and I don't have C's Revenge on. So that's pretty bad. Okay, Fang. That's why you bring the Fang. Just to end it all. Make sure that you don't die, because my run could have been ruined, but I fanged, so we're alright. Now, what that does mean, though, is I probably can't use it next round, which is kind of bad, because less of the geysers, but there's also the bosses in the mix. So, but, okay, the really good thing about this wave, right, is that there's no Sirens, so you actually have the entire map to yourself, because there's no weapon disabling, there's no Sirens. This round would be 100 times harder if you had Sirens, but there's not. There's no Sirens, so honestly, you should probably worry more about the last wave than this wave, because we already know how to avoid the Funny Buster and Raging Tide. So look, all of the enemies are gone, so now it's just the same as the other wave where we had them. So I guess I'll just fast forward, but use your Fang on wave 13 and then run around the entire map on wave 14. That's how you beat the geysers. That's the code that you crack. But again, developers, please do not add Sirens to Wave 14. I will never beat this game again. I will never beat it again if you add Sirens on Wave 14, because that's just too much. It's just too much, even for Torment Mode. I mean, bosses, Sirens, and geysers? I don't know, that'd make it, like, even more harder than the boss. And these waves are already harder than the boss. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this game because I've already gotten past the harder waves before. And there's a pretty decent strategy to defeat Oceania, and I'll explain that when I get to it. And it does involve Ocean's Authority, but again, Equinox Cannon does pretty well. So let me use that to get some chip. And there goes the Raging Tide. Alright. Now all that's left is to defeat the boss. Now, the boss looks very overwhelming, but I can assure you it's not that much. The strategy is just keep running. Don't stop moving. Because all of Oceania's moves will just go behind you if you keep moving. Like, they can't catch up to you. So they can't really do too much damage to you. Now, there's one thing that I want to explain that really confused me when I did it last time. So I used to think that these big summons, those were what did damage, but there's actually a little humanoid-sized person in the very middle, and that is where you deal all your damage. That is the main target. So Oceania does have healing, but it doesn't matter because over time, you will do damage anyway. So the strategy is just reapply Seize Revenge ASAP, and just keep running around Oceania, shooting your Equinox Cannon, and also it helps a lot if you have Ocean's Authority because you can do even more damage. Like, Oceania is one of those bosses where Raging Tide helps. Not Raging Tide, sorry, I don't know why I said that. Ocean's Authority, because to be honest, the actual humanoid boss doesn't move around very much, so you can get all of that damage hit. So just keep running around. Alright, I'll fast forward until phase 2, because, I mean, not much really changes on that phase. Okay, by that dialogue, we are now on phase 2. So, phase 2 adds 3 new things. 1, Potentai fish summons, which, if you're using EQ Cannon, you don't have to worry about, because somewhere in all the mess, they will die anyway. Second move is, Oceania can now use water columns, which doesn't really matter, because you outrun them if you're using Seize Revenge. So that doesn't really matter. See, look, there comes the Potentai fish, but if you're using your Equinox Cannon, they just die in the mix. And the final move is the wave, aka the tsunami. Now, the tsunami, it takes out a good portion of your health, but it's fine as long as you can heal it back. If you can heal that back quickly, then you're perfectly fine. Matter of fact, here, let's wait for a wave, and then I can show you. So let me Fang, because I guess that'll get some chip down. See, look, there come the Potentai fish, but they just die in the mix, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, there's the tsunami. So as you can see, I lost a good portion of my health, but I was able to heal it back, and that's also why I brought Staff of Life, you know, just in case. It doesn't hurt to be safe. Plus, I don't really need any other weapons. So, Torment Mode looks like it's a lot, but if you have a little bit of skill and some decent weapons, it's not that hard. So, let's just finish this boss off. Alright, we're almost there. One reality tear should do the trick. And boom! Okay, so the boss actually ends at 1 HP, but you actually have the option to spare the boss, and if you do, you get no loot. So, do not spare. And I got no good loot, but that's fine. I can just do it again because I have a good strategy. So, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I should be able to answer them if you aren't like years after I post this video. If you are, then don't ask anything because I probably won't have an answer since this is a temporary event. Otherwise, yeah, so there's your strategy. I also have Aura of Death that could help. I have 2 of them actually. Now I didn't use them just because the charge doesn't really ever help me, and I prefer the relic because I get that extra HP. That's about it. So, yeah. Pretty cool. And yes, I know, I'm wearing goddess armor, but that's all I got, and I'm trying to get god armor. I have the, Crown of the Ocean, but I'm just trying to get that god armor. That's why I'm still playing. Actually, wait. Let me see something. If I go to Aqua Tokens... Oh! Okay, I have a lot of Aqua Tokens. So, actually, let me buy a weapon that I've wanted to get. Starfish Bomber! Yo-ho! Now, I've seen other people use this, and it looks really funny. So, let's see what the Starfish Bomber can do. If you made it to the end of the video, you get to see the Starfish Bomber. Oh, yeah. Go, my Starfish Army. Potenti Fish. Go, my Potenti Fish. They're so goofy looking. Look at their little dance. But they're so goofy. Hey, stop it. You're hurting my Potenti Fish. How could you? How could you? These are my children. Come on, children. Let's go to war.